Woo! Today is day 5 of the GoHighLevel Reputation Agency Course, where I show you exactly how I scaled to over $26,000 a month in recurring revenue, just helping local business owners get more Google reviews, white labeling high level. Whew, that's a mouthful. Day 5 is all about closing your first sale. So on day 4, we booked your first sales call, and on day 5, I'm gonna go over my script, I'm gonna go over how to sell people, how to overcome objections, and how to go ahead and get their card on file and start setting up their account. As always, if you want access to the sales call recordings, the snapshots, the templates, up to 3 weekly coaching calls with me where I can help you one-on-one overcome any obstacles you're dealing with, access to a community of almost 700 people doing the same exact thing and everyone's helping one another out, feel free to sign up with my link down below in the description to High Level. With my link, you'll get an extended 30-day trial instead of a normal 14-day trial. And if you're already a High Level user, you can just upgrade to the next plan with my link and you'll get access to everything I've learned, all my templates, all that stuff, totally for free. I do sell direct access to the school community where I house all this stuff, but I would much rather you not pay me directly. You can just sign up with the software you're gonna be using, and you can get access to all this stuff for free. I'll quit yapping here. Let's dive into day 5. So let's talk about how to prepare for a sales call. So there's really not much preparation that I do before any sales calls. I probably just spend 3 or 4 minutes just making sure I know the basic details of their business. So obviously their business name, the owner's name, or whoever you're meeting with, their name and stuff like that. Location, the number of reviews, and the recency of the reviews. So if we just do an example right here, let's say I'm meeting with Seminole Plumbing here. What I'll do is I will click on their Google Business profile. If it'll load here. So I'll go ahead and click on their Google Business profile. I'll look at the reviews and I'll see what is the newest review. So looks like they're getting 1, 2, 3 reviews a month right now. I'll also check the lowest reviews so I can kind of pull that up and try to insinuate some just like painful circumstances they've gone through because of their reviews not being good or stuff like that. See if they've had any reviews recently that are negative and talking about like getting those reported. So you can say, hey, I just want to let you know I saw that crazy review by Anna. I went ahead and reported that review for you. So hopefully Google will get that taken down. Just doing some stuff like that. And then also what I would do is I would go to their website and see if we can figure out if they're using some sort of booking system or something that we can integrate with easily. So if we click on their website here, you can see text, call now. They're just getting leads that way. Let's see if they have like a booking service page. Services, residential service. So you can see here, I can't really see I can't see like a software or something that they're using. But if we go back, we can probably figure one out. We look at some other businesses here. So let's see. Let's see what Reuter Plumbing is doing here. Mr. Reuter website. This is a massive chain, so they probably have some like special situation going on here. This might be our own custom solution because it's Mr. Reuter's a neighborly company, which is really big. Let's see Cooper's Plumbing and Air. They've got a bunch of reviews, so they probably have something set up already. Let's see. Schedule service. Let's see what they're using. Schedule service. All right. Hard to tell just from that. But you can just go around and play around and see. Okay, let's see. We're online. See what softwares they're using. All right. Powered by Triple Your Clicks. So you can figure out, okay, what is this? What is this marketing company or chat widget or something they're using? We go back. Let's see if we can find a good example of one. Let's see. Keith Lawson. Let's see if old Keith is using something. Schedule your service. Contact us. Send us an email. Anyway, sometimes you'll be able to find it. Let me see if I can find a good. So you can see here, here's just an example of a Christmas tree lighting company. You click on get a quote. Where does it take us? It takes us to client.hub.getjobber. So you can see this is a jobber quote form. So we know they use Jobber and we'll be able to easily integrate with them. So you just want to go ahead and grab some of those basic details, figure out how many reviews they're getting a month, stuff like that. If you really want to, you can go ahead and run like a report on their business with like local brand manager. So once again, if we're doing that Seminole Plumbing guy, we just do Google search, Seminole Plumbing. There you go, Tallahassee, search for plumbers. And you can go ahead and use this grid as kind of ammunition in your sale to say, hey, looks like you're not ranking very well in your area. So you can go ahead and have that pulled up. But yeah, you want to, just kind of do a little bit of due diligence, really not much more than a couple minutes of work each time, just so it looks like you prepared, you know a little bit more about your business, and you don't have to ask them questions that you could have answered yourself. So once this loads, you'll be able to see how many reviews they've gotten. I mean, you'll be able to see how they're ranking and stuff like that. So we can see here for this Seminole Plumbing guy, this is a great example of, something that looks like they're ranking really well, but most of their business they're targeting might be in Tallahassee. Like they might want to do a lot more work down here. There might be a lot more people they can service down here. So you could really lean into the fact that, hey, if you had more than 60 reviews, you'd probably be ranking a little bit better moving down into Tallahassee and not kind of out here in the boonies with the country folk, where they're probably fixing their own toilets and stuff like that. Or at least you're just not getting as high a search volume as like downtown Tallahassee or something like that. So you can use that as ammunition in the call if you need to kind of say, hey, I think there's a big opportunity for improvement here. So the first question you should ask is, what's the goal? If you're just getting started, you just started using GoHighLevel, you don't have any case studies, any results, you just started kind of reaching out to local business owners, what I recommend is I would go the get results and case studies route first. So work for free, get results, get case studies. They're going to be doing you more of a favor than you are, because you're going to be get reps under the belt. You're going to be learning so much about the process. And so whether you're just trying to get results and case studies and free trials and grow, you sell a little differently than if you're trying to make money now and get them to close. So I've done both. When I've done both, I've closed people for $1,500, $2,000 setup fees to help them get Google reviews, and then monthly subscription after that. And then now, when I've really started to grow, I just do free trials and go ahead and get them set up and rocking and rolling. Don't even worry about the money. I just want to get you results and prove that this works. And I just want to, review in a case study. And so we're going to start with the get results and case studies. So what this looks like is you generate attention in some way: cold calling, emails, DMs, ads, content, however you do it. And then you get them on a call. So you go meet with them at a coffee shop, you can get them on a Zoom call, whatever it is. But the goal of this call is to qualify them and then onboard them, and then potentially, depending on, if you already have results or not, get a card on file, right? If this is your first 10 people, don't even worry about getting a card on file. Eat the cost for text and email expenses and just rock and just get results, period. But when we're offering a free trial, like for example, I offer a 14-day free trial. So when we're offering a free trial, it's not much of a sale. It's more of a qualify and onboard. But you still want to go through the sales process so they understand why it's important, why they should be doing this, why they should be taking action, why they're putting a card on file, etc. And so, of course, I just follow Hormozi's closer framework. So here's kind of what it looks like. I build a little bit of rapport. So in the beginning, especially if you're just qualifying, onboarding, you're helping out for free, the rapport is not going to matter as much, right? We're just trying to get a card on file. We're just trying to start a free trial. But I try and build a little bit of rapport. This is going to help if they do kind of throw objections out there. You can kind of laugh them off if you have that rapport with them. You made jokes in the beginning, etc. And I'll give you a good example of that later. But when I get them on this call, I just want to clarify why they're here. So, hey, what made you want to book the call? What made you want to respond to the email? What made you want to respond to the DM, etc. So clarify why they're there. And then once they tell you that, you label them with a concern. So you say, hey, what made you want to book the call today? And you say, oh yeah, hey, we just had a couple of bad reviews come recently, and we don't really have a good consistent way of getting them. I tell my employees to ask for them, but they never do. And yeah, so we're just trying to figure out how we can get reviews consistently. And then you want to label them with that concern and say, oh, okay, cool. So it sounds like, you're asking employees to get them, they're not doing it, and you've kind of had a bad run in the past couple of weeks with some negative reviews. And so you're looking for a consistent way. So you're looking for a way to consistently get Google reviews without having to rely on your employees. It just works in the background, and and then they'll say, yes, sounds good. And that's when you want to go into overview what they've done in the past. So this is where you ask them. So you said that your employees are asking for reviews. What's that process like for them? Say, oh, well, we gave them a QR code, or we gave them a tap card, or we just told them to ask. And then you get them to elaborate on it. What was that like? What do you think went wrong? Whatever. And then you can kind of connect the pieces for them and tell them how close they were. Oh yeah, so you have the QR code. That's great. That's good. It makes it easy for people to leave a review. But what happens is a lot of times people just forget. Like they'll get the QR code and they'll get the link pulled up and they'll say they do it later, but they'll forget. And that's why you need that text or email in place to kind of follow up. And so it's giving you ammunition for once you sell the vacation, you're telling them, hey, we're going to text and email your clients. We're going to follow up if they don't leave a review, etc. You can say, yeah, just like how you have the QR code, but you're not being able to follow up, so you're missing a lot of reviews. You can include include that as some ammunition to kind of get them to. But when we're getting them to overview what they've done in the past, the processes they've tried, the things that haven't worked, that's going to give us ammunition to kind of tailor that, sell the vacation, sell the benefits. So if I hear somebody is really concerned about negative reviews, I can tell them, hey, we have a review filter page. It's going to filter out 99% of the bad reviews, etc. And so the more information you get here, the more ammunition, the more bullets in the chamber you'll have just to close them later. And this is also where I ask qualifying questions, like what CRM are you using? Do you have your previous contacts saved? Like, do you collect name, email, phone number? Are we able to integrate that CRM where I kind of figure out all that stuff so I can figure out how much of a good fit they are and how many reviews we'll be able to get them? Because if they tell me, hey, yeah, we've got 2,000 previous clients, name, email, phone number saved from the last 2 years, then I know we can probably get them another 100 reviews in the first month of working with them. And so asking those qualifying questions, so I know, like, one, we can help you, and they're not just a business that uses cash and check and doesn't collect contact information and just writes everything down. So one, we can help you, and two, how much can we help you, right? I've had clients that have massive businesses that have thousands of customers that I have spent so much time trying to sell, because I'm like, you are sitting on 250 reviews right now, and it will drastically change the way your business ranks on Google and the way the way people interact with you. And eventually I closed a bunch of them just because I was so persistent with it. But when they have that many previous customers, I just know in my soul we can help them out so much. And so they just stick in my brain. I'm like, oh, we need to get them on. We need to get them on, because I know it's going to be a great case study. And side note, that's what's so great about reviews. You can sell with complete and total conviction because it just works. It's just easy to get people reviews. All right, so let's get into selling the vacation. So this needs to be very short, like 90 seconds max. And we want to sell the benefits, not the features. And so we can include language like, hey, we use a personalized image, but make sure you tell them what it is. Why do we do that? What's the benefit of the personalized image? Well, it's going to get their attention, and they're going to give you more reviews, and then you're ranking higher on Google. And so making sure that we're relating what we're doing, requesting reviews, responding reviews, repurposing reviews, relating all that back to you will make more money. You will rank higher on Google, you will make more money. And so sell the vacation, make it quick. Don't get nitty gritty in the details and the features and stuff, but keep it benefits based. And then you basically say, hey, how does all that sound? They say, good, ask questions, whatever, and say, okay, cool. We have a 14-day free trial, or just enter whatever your pricing structure is. And so this is when you're just trying to get people on and get people results and case studies. You're just getting started, because those first 10 are the hardest. They're going to be the hardest to get. And so just making them put a card on file, or not making them put a card on file at all, or just getting them set up for free is going to remove so much friction and make it so much easier for you to get those first 10, get the case studies, and then have the proof to then go charge people for it. But basically, after you say, how's all that sound? They say, great. You tell them the pricing. Instead of asking for a card on file right away or asking them to pay, this will normally take like 10 minutes. It's not like a super long, drawn out conversations where we're trying to get them to cry because we're trying to sell them a $20,000 thing. It's pretty simple. And so this can take 5 to 10 minutes, and we can explain what any concerns they have. But instead of asking for a card on file or asking them to pay or anything like that, now we just say, hey, do you have 15, 20 minutes where we can go ahead and get you set up? And then you segue directly into the onboarding call. You get them to log in, you get everything connected, you walk through the onboarding process. And then at the very end, if you are trying to get a card on file, if not, you can just go through and start getting results. But if you're trying to get a card on file, just say, awesome, we got everything set up. Just so we can go ahead and launch your account, we need to get a card on file. And then they give you a card on file. And that increases your close rate for that card on file drastically, because they've already spent 30 minutes on a call with you, getting everything set up, walking through the whole process, and they're this close to the end zone, right? They're this close to scoring a touchdown, or this close to figuring out how many reviews they're going to get, whatever. And so they've already done all the work, and now it's just all they have to do is put a card on file, and like, all right, whatever. It's risk-free, 30-day money-back guarantee, 14-day free trial, whatever you want to offer them. It'll increase your card on file percentage by a bunch. So the second way is the make money now. So if you're wanting to charge a setup fee, if you're wanting to charge upfront, no trial, so there's going to be a lot of friction between like you getting leads and getting people results. And so the reason why we still do a free trial and get stuff set up is because we know we can help so many people, and we know it's only going to take us an hour or 2 hours to get it set up. So instead of arguing on the phone to get them to pay for an hour, we'd rather just get them set up in an hour and start getting them results so they can pay us later. Because we know that if we get a Google Business Profile access and a client list, there's a 99% chance that they're going to pay us. And so that's why we just focus on getting results, getting case studies, just starting those free trials to remove as much friction as possible. You don't want to do any wasted work. You want to make sure that the people that work with you are committed and paid, then good on you. And so here's kind of the process that when I was doing it that way, here's the process that I would walk through. So same thing, generate attention, convert on a sales call, and then book an onboarding call after that, after you get paid on that sales call, right? So the same exact process here, but we're going to emphasize a lot more on rapport. So spend more time trying to build rapport, find some stuff in common, spend a couple of minutes on it just to kind of get to the point where you're comfortable enough with them where you can make jokes and kind of call them on their BS, for lack of a better term. So what you want to do is clarify why they're there. So same situation here. Hey, what made you book the call? What made you respond to the email? What made you respond to the DM? What's going on? They're going to tell you why they did it, why they booked the call, they need reviews, whatever. Also, what I like to do here in the clarify stage or in the rapport stage is if I'm not certain as to where they came from, and I know it wasn't just like a cold email or something, I love to ask because this builds some authority and it frames the call better. Said, how'd you hear about us? Say, hey, how'd you hear about Review Harvest? Was it from that podcast we were just on? And obviously don't lie. Like if you weren't on a podcast, don't say this. But think of something that you said that could be impressive, that sounds legit, that sounds cool. You can just say, oh, how'd you hear about Review Harvest? Was it at that trade show where we got the award? Oh, did you hear about it from this thing, from that launch we just did with whatever big brand or whatever? Did you hear about this from the podcast we were just featured in? Did you hear about us from the YouTube video we were just featured in from such and such? When you ask how they heard about you, just assume that they heard about you from the best, most impressive place possible that you can say is true, right? That you can say truly. And if you do that, it's going to frame the call. Whether they found you from there or not, it doesn't matter. They just now know that you were on a podcast. So it frames your business as more of an authority on the call. And if you're worried about getting on a podcast, it's so easy. Just like reach out to people that have podcasts. They want to have people on. So then you can just always say, oh, did you hear about us from that podcast? We had a couple people find us from that way. And then boom, you framed yourself as more an authority for that call. So another big tip here is make sure that they are not trying to control the call, because since we're just selling reviews, we'll have a lot of people that think they know everything and they just want to push you around, make you answer the questions they want answered, and they'll hop on the call and say, okay, how much is it? What do you do? What are the features? What's the contract? Whatever. You want to make sure you control the call, and just by you're the one asking the questions, right? Like you don't want them to be asking questions, you just answering, because then they're controlling the call. And so when I do get somebody aggressive, like just asking questions or whatever, I'm normally just like, yep, it depends on your business. So what about X? And then I ask them a question, what CRM do you use, whatever, and try and get back into asking questions and making them answer it, and then just get on a roll that way. So don't let them push you around. Once again, I'm not the best at sales calls, but you just want to make sure you're controlling the call, because anytime I have let people hop on and just push me around and ask me 10, 15 questions and I just answer them, I don't know if I ever sold them. Because okay, yeah, sweet, I got all the information now, I'll get back to you. And they just forget, right? And so it's our job to, one, control the call and then help them make a decision, because humans just want to keep kicking the can down the road, right? And if this is a free trial or if we're just trying to get them to pay, it's our job to help them decide. And so, yeah, try to control the call that way. Another thing I like to do, especially if you're not sure if this is a one-man band, a small business, big business, whatever, is ask and say, okay, cool. Like, hey, Jeremy, are you the owner of business? And, I normally ask that when I'm pretty sure they are the owner, right? If it's just a home service business, it's like one-man band, I'm like, okay, they're pretty sure it's the owner. And then after they say, yes, I am the owner, then you can kind of jokingly say, okay, sweet. So you call the shots, you make the decisions around there, right? And then they'll be like, yes, of course. And so now what happens is, if later on in the call, if they're like, oh, I need to talk to my wife, I need to talk to such and such, I need to talk to whatever, then if you built enough rapport and you already have that commitment from earlier that they're the one that calls the shots to make decisions, you can kind of poke fun and be like, wait, hold on. Like, I thought you said that. I thought you said you call the shots around there. I thought you said the owner. What's going on? You can't put your card on file. You can't put $100 down for a money back guarantee or whatever you're asking them to do. But if you have that rapport and you have that answer and you have that information from earlier, you're able to use that at the end of the sale to kind of get them over the edge to go ahead and get the card on file, or go ahead and get them to pay for the first month of the setup fee or whatever you're trying to do. And then so same situation, label them with a concern. So once they clarify why they're there, you label them concern. Okay, cool. Sounds like you haven't gotten any Google reviews in 8 months. The CRM you're using has a feature to request reviews. It's just not working. So walk me through that feature. What is it sending out? Is it sending out an email? Is it sending out a text? So now we're going into overview what they've done in the past. So overview what's currently going on. And yeah, it's just an email. It's just like a Google review link at the bottom of the invoice. It's not really working. They do have a text function, but I feel like it doesn't actually work well. I think it's just like a boring text. I think it's kind of confusing, or it makes them wait to respond or whatever. And so we're just asking clarifying questions. Okay, tell me about that. Okay, so why does it do that? Okay, did your employees know that that's how it works? Just keep getting them to kind of go over what's wrong with the process. And then from there, you have a clear understanding of the bullets in the chamber that you can use to help tailor the sell the vacation to what they're emphasized on. So if they're really concerned about certain things, you can tailor the sell the vacation and the benefits that way. Then once again, sell the vacation, focus on benefits, keep it less than 90 seconds. For what we do is we request reviews, we respond to reviews, we repurpose reviews. Those are 3 R's. Keep it simple. Elaborate on it a little bit. How's all that sound to you? And they'll say good, bad, ask questions, whatever. And they say, awesome, here's our pricing, money back guarantee, 14-day trial, $299 a month, upfront, setup fee, whatever you're doing. The most common one I get is like, oh yeah, I need to talk to such and such about it. Or, hey, yeah, let me think on it or whatever. Just watch a million Alex Hormozi sales videos. He's got overcomes to all these objections. But if somebody says they need to think about it or whatever, I totally understand. Google reviews are important. You shouldn't take this decision lightly. A lot of times I feel like it just takes more information and the right information to make a decision and not necessarily time because, once again, if you build rapport, you can go to the whole Alex Hormozi thing. Because let's be real. You're not going to like go home, sit in a rocking chair, light up a cigarette and think, should I work with Review Harvest? Like that's kind of what he walks through for that objection overcome. And so you can do some version of that. And you're like, oh, what's going to happen is you're going to have this call. You're going to have to go pick up Johnny from soccer practice. You're going to have to mow the yard. Life gets busy and you're going to forget. And so I feel like it probably is just going to take some more information. So what's your biggest concern? And then you just ask them, what's the biggest concern? Well, my biggest concern is that people are going to get annoyed that they're getting texts and emails. And then you can say, no worries. We can set it up to where they only get 1 text, 1 email. If they respond or click the link at any point, they will not receive any more communication and make it non-invasive, whatever. And try and figure out why they're wanting to kick the can down the road. Once again, I'm not the best with objection overcomes. And honestly, when we're just doing the free trials and just the setup, if like people have more than like 5 or 6 questions and they're like, I need to think about it, I'm just like, okay, cool. Because they're probably not going to be a great client anyway. And I'm like, we're doing it for free. And I should be better about that, right? I should do a better job of trying to get someone a call. But it's like, I'm not going to hard sell somebody just to get a card on file so we can do the work to get them reviews. Like, I'm just like, no, it's not. I'm not going to do that. But maybe I should. That's probably a limiting belief that's making me less money. Who knows? But anyways, and then once they make the decision, and just reinforce their decision, like Alex Hormozi, make sure you have a good, clean handoff. Tell them exactly what they're going to do. Hey, after this call, you're going to get an invite for the onboarding call. There's going to be a checklist of a couple things we're going to go over. You don't have to do anything for it. And then we're going to do this, that, and the other. We're so stoked. We're happy to get your reviews. Just reinforce that decision that they made. And in this video, I put together the top 15 sales objections that I get on sales calls or even onboarding calls, and how to overcome them so you can get them set up and you can get them paying you every single month. If you don't know who I am, my name is Clay Lawrence, owner of ReviewHarvest.com. I make a little bit over $24,000 every month just helping local business owners get Google reviews. And I do this by white labeling GoHighLevel and selling these automated services. And if you don't believe me, feel free to check out reviewharvest.com/results and check out all of our video testimonials and case studies where we've helped local business owners add 100, 300, sometimes 500 plus reviews so they start ranking higher on Google and getting more business. So without further ado, let's start diving into some of these objections. So objection number 1, what if they have already left a review? So when does this come up? This normally comes up when we're on the sales call or even on an onboarding call and we're saying, hey, the first play in our playbook is to do a review reactivation. What we do on that review reactivation is we reactivate their entire customer list to help them get a bunch of reviews up front and a big win so they stay with us for a while. And so one objection that we'll get all the time here is, hey, what if they've already left a review? And so you can really take 2 routes here. One, you can do it, manually remove everyone from their list that has already left a review and just try and match it on Google. Google's not going to send us the data back of what email actually left the review. And so it's a very manual process of trying to figure out, does this name on Google match this name on their client list? So if you have the time and they're a big stickler about it, you can just remove them for them. But what I've found is that you can frame this in a way where they don't even mind and they're actually, okay, this might actually be a good thing for us to request reviews, again, even if they've left one. And so what you can tell them is that, hey, Google loves a review that was left yesterday a lot more than a review that was left 2 years ago. And so what's going to happen if somebody's already left you a review and they click on the link to leave a review, that review they put in previously is going to be in there in the comment and the star rating is already going to be there. And now all they have to do is just click on submit again. And now that review that was 2 years ago now is updated and now it looks like it was left yesterday. And so now they're going to start ranking higher on Google because review recency is one of the ranking factors in the search algorithm for people ranking higher on Google search. Also, if somebody left a review 2 years ago for your business, they probably don't even remember leaving that review. So they're not going to be like, oh, I already left you a review, whatever. It's only when they've left a review in the last couple of months that they normally remember. And then even if they have already left you a review, there's a good chance they might be logged in on their wife's phone or their husband's phone, or they might have multiple Gmail accounts. So maybe when they click on the link to leave a review now, they'll be logged into a different Gmail and they can leave you another review. And it's a little BOGO special. You get 2 for the price of 1. So for this little obstacle or objection right here, it really just depends on how much work you want to do. If they're being a huge stickler and they only have like 20 reviews, then it's probably worth it just to go ahead and remove those reviews for them. But if they've got like 400 reviews, you want to really try and sell the fact that, hey, they can update their reviews, Google loves to see that, etc. And just apologize in advance, my voice sounds awful. I've been sick all week, but I still want to get this video done and out to y'all. The second objection is, I don't have time to learn a new software. I don't have time to go ahead and set up your new little rinky-dink software to set it up to request reviews from my clients. Well, great news is that you don't have to learn anything, right? There's nothing you have to learn. All we need is 20 to 30 minutes on a Zoom call. And like I've said before, I'm not a sales master. I think normally when someone presents an objection, you want to kind of listen, make sure they know that you understand, so maybe reframe it or restate what they said, and then you kind of want to reframe it to get around it or kind of solve that problem. And also some of these are going to be obstacles, not objections. So Alex Ramosi says, obstacles are stuff that comes up before you make the pitch, before you say the offer, and objections are anything that comes up after when you're trying to get a card. And so for this objection right here, I don't have time to learn a new software. It's really simple. We just tell them, hey, you don't have to learn anything. We're built to plug in directly into your current systems. So we want to integrate into your CRM so that your employees, y'all don't have to change a single thing that we're doing. We're just requesting reviews, responding to reviews, and turning these reviews into social media content in the background. And there's nothing you have to learn. I'll even tell our clients we're a lot more of a service than we are a software. So I'll say, hey, there's no reason for you to learn the dashboard and learn all the features and all that stuff like that. We're gonna get you set up in 20, 30 minutes and then you'll never have to log in again. If you have a question, just email us and we'll fix it for you. And so that way we frame ourselves as a service provider, and anytime we are emphasizing the service and not the software, we're gonna increase the perceived value of what the client should pay. All right, the third obstacle or objection is, I don't have time for an onboarding call right now. I am so busy. So this is actually a really easy one. We just want to acknowledge what we heard and reframe it to, hey, we're taking something off your plate so you can become less busy. And so it's important when we're doing these things to try and sit on their side of the table and not get like confrontational and combative. But we want to say, hey, I understand you're so busy. I'm glad to hear that business is going well and you're getting all these jobs. This is probably the perfect time for us to do this so that we can start to take some of that stuff off your plate. If you can just give me 20 or 30 minutes on a Zoom call, we'll get all this set up so you never have to worry about requesting reviews, responding to these reviews, or turning these reviews into social media content. And we'll take all that stuff off your plate so you don't have to worry about Google reviews ever again. Also, since you're busy, that means it's the best time to do it because all of these customers that you're getting right now aren't getting requested to leave a review, and these would be great reviews for you to start getting so you can start ranking higher. Because obviously, reviews come after customers. And so now that all these customers are fresh, this is the best time to request a review from them. So if you can just give me 25 minutes, we'll get you set up, and then you won't have to ever worry about this again. And so just kind of reframe it like you're taking stuff off their plate. All right, so the fourth one is my CRM already does this. So this is the great thing about reviews. When it comes to reviews, we can just go to their Google business profile and see what results they're getting, right? If someone's asking about leads or sales, it's hard for you to know how many leads or how many sales they're actually getting. But reviews is a very public metric. So when people say, hey, my CRM already does this, I just pull up their review page on Google. I'm just like, yeah, it looks like you've gotten 6 reviews in the last year. I mean, do you think that this is the best? Like, have you only had 6 customers in the last year? And so once again, you want to hear them, you want to understand, you want to get on their side of the table, but you also want to reframe this and say, hey, if it already does this, how come it's not working? And what we normally say is like, hey, our only job is to get you reviews, right? Your CRM does your invoicing, your booking, your reminders. It does 100 different things. And so reviews to them is just one component that they're not really focusing on. But for us, our sole job is to get you more Google reviews. If we weren't able to do that, that would be pretty embarrassing for us. And so do you think that if we just focus on this, we'll be able to get you better results than just this one little feature that your CRM has? And also you can get really tactical here saying, hey, most of these CRMs just send out a basic review request message, no image, no personalization, no follow-ups and stuff like that. What we do is that since a lot of these CRMs do have that kind of default review request system built in, a lot of these consumers and customers that you're working with are getting banner blindness to this just little boring little text about, hey, can you leave us a review? It helps us grow our business, right? They're getting banner blindness to this because they're seeing that every time they work with somebody, right? And so what we do is we spend a lot of time on personalizing that message and making sure that the actual stimulus that we're sending to your customers and exposing to their eyeballs is going to get them to take action and leave you a review. And so when you reframe it that way, a lot of times they'll understand like, yeah, it's not working. And one thing is that if their CRM does already do this and they're already getting a bunch of reviews, then you can just ask, like, try and figure out the conversion rate. Like, hey, what conversion rate are you getting? Are you getting a 5%, 10% review conversion rate? And if they're already getting a great conversion rate, you could say, hey, we might be able to get you a little bit better review conversion rate. Honestly, I don't know if that'd be worth it to you. If we could take your conversion rate from 10% to 20%, like, would that be worth it for you? Because there's a good chance that if they're getting 10% just with a basic text and email, when we plug in our personalized images and some more advanced automations through GoHighLevel, you can get them a much better review conversion rate. And so then you just sell an increase and you just sell the fact that you're going to be better, which can still be an easy sale because a lot of times people are more than willing to pay for something that's better. And they're the ones that book the call with you. So obviously there's some sort of pain underlying there. All right, so the fifth objection is my employees ask for reviews themselves. So like, hey, my employees already asked for reviews. Once again, reviews are a very public metric. We can just go pull up their Google business profile and see, yeah, well, I know your employees were supposed to be asking, but it looks like you've only gotten 2 reviews in the last 6 months. What's happening here? And so once they understand that we're hearing them, I still kind of lean into the fact that, hey, that's great that your employees are asking. Like, I would never recommend your employees not to ask. Like, I definitely think your employees should continue to ask. But the problem about having that human element of it is it sometimes just doesn't happen. Also, some of these businesses aren't seeing their customers face to face when they're leaving, right? So their customer might not be home or might not be dealing with them after the service. And so say, what we like to do is we like to just have this automation for text and email always set up so it's happening every single time like clockwork and there's no human error involved. And then when you put your employees asking on that on top of what we're already doing, your review conversion rate is going to go through the roof. And now your employees don't have to pull up a QR code or try and find a tap card or anything like that. Your employees can just say, hey, when I leave, you're going to get a text and email requesting a review. Would you mind taking a second to do that for us? And then get a little micro commitment from that homeowner or from your customer saying, hey, yeah, when I get that, I'll leave the review. When they get the text, it's a reminder, not an ask, because they've already said yes to it. All right, the sixth objection is I respond to my reviews already, I don't mind. This one comes up specifically talking about responding to reviews. And so you want to like acknowledge the fact that I gotcha, I hear you. Make sure they know that responding to reviews isn't the only thing that you do. And then something that I like to do with the review responses is like, hey, I get it. It probably only takes you 5 minutes, right? But all these 5-minute tasks kind of add up, right? Instead of you going home right after work, you have to get on the computer and respond to 3 reviews. And what happens is you get on the computer, you respond to 3 reviews, and then you see 3 emails that you have to get to. And then you also see this thing on Facebook that you need to respond to in Facebook Messenger. And what happens is you just get distracted, and it's just something that you have to do that you honestly, if you just never had to worry about it, it would save you more than the 5 or 10 minutes because all the distractions that come up while you're doing that. And you get pretty technical here talking about like task switching. So like when you switch tasks, there's a lot of just waste when you have to like kind of get your brain in that next mindset, and then you switch to the next task and you have to kind of switch your brain to, hey, I'm doing this now. And so you could talk about how it's saving them a lot more than just the 5 minutes it takes to respond to reviews, and really sell the fact that they never have to worry about it again. And every single person you hop on a call with, if they're a business owner, they're gonna say, oh yeah, I'm so busy. And so really try and sell that, hey, I'm just trying to take stuff off your plate so you never have to worry about it again. All right, the 7th objection is I don't want to bug my clients. So you can take this a couple different routes. You can say, hey, how many texts and emails do you want to send? We can adjust the messaging so that we don't bug your clients and that we don't send them as many follow-ups as we normally would. And so I normally will tell our clients, hey, our default sequence is 2 texts and 3 emails over 6 days. If they ever respond to a text, click the link to leave a review or anything like that, we'll quit messaging them so we're not bugging them. And just tell them that's kind of the default sequence and they can change it as they'd like. Or you can also go the route of saying, hey, we really do see it as a push-pull. The people that are going to work with you again, the people who are going to come back to your business and use you are probably more than willing to get texts from you and leave you a review. The people that are pissed off and they say stop and don't bug me or whatever, they're probably never coming back to you at all. And then there's probably this little middle ground where they still liked your service, they still thought you're a good business, but they just don't want texts and emails. So they can just say stop or unsubscribe, and no harm, no foul. They're not going to hold anything against that to you. So just explaining to these clients that, hey, first off, getting a stop or unsubscribe isn't the end of the world. And I wouldn't even tell them about that because we don't even give our clients access to the conversations anymore so they can see the responses back and forth, because that gets their emotions involved, and then they get all concerned about how many texts you're sending, stuff like that. And hey, we're just here to get you reviews, right? People are going to say stop, and it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean they hate you. But you can also give them the option, if they're really concerned, say, hey, we're going to send one text and one email. That's it. You can also tell them, hey, if you have certain people you want to remove from this list, we can remove those people from your list before we even request reviews. So give them the optionality of all that. Number 8, what if I don't want to send a review request to everyone? So this is where you can basically say, hey, we've got a 2-hour or 3-hour wait step. Feel free to log into the dashboard and put them in on D&D, or feel free to text and email us. I actually have a form that our clients can fill out that automatically they can put a name and a phone number in, and it automatically adds that contact to D&D. And you can just say, hey, we have a couple hour wait step. You could also set up some filter steps through the CRM integration. And so this is like a very practical one. So you just say, hey, if you're using Jobber, we can look for the no review tag. And if you add the no review tag, we won't request a review for them. And then also just saying we'll give you 3 or 4 hours, or if you want to increase that to a day, we'll give you a day to go in and remove that person before they get a review request. Also, if they really want to, you could set up the review filter page. Once again, we don't recommend that. We don't like push that on all our clients. It's only if they want to, and they're really scared about negative feedback. Then you can say, hey, we have the review filter page. Even if they do get a review request and they had a negative experience, they'll click on the red frowny face, and then it'll take them to an internal page, leave internal feedback instead of taking them directly to Google. So there's a couple different ways that you can overcome that. The 9th objection is, what if someone leaves a bad review? So once again, you can use the review filter page here. You can say, totally understand, bad reviews are scary. Say, if you're scared that this client is like really worried about that, you can't offer the review filter page. What I like to say first about a bad review is, hey, one bad review is going to add legitimacy to all your other 5-star reviews, right? So all consumer research points to like 4.7 to a 4.8 being the most convincing star rating, because consumers can actually see that it's possible for this business to get a negative review. When people see a perfect 5.0, a lot of consumers will say, that's fishy. They can only get 5-star reviews. What are they doing? That's messed up, you know? That one bad review is going to add legitimacy to all your other reviews and can even increase your persuasiveness online. Also, you can go the very practical route saying, hey, our average review star rating is like 4.98. That's something that we tracked for the longest time. And like our average rating was like 4.97. Like for the most part, people don't really leave bad reviews, especially when you're doing a review reactivation and you're reaching out to these people like 6 months, a year later. Very rarely you're going to get negative reviews. Also, when you're proactively asking people for reviews, you're going to get a lot of those good reviews. Whereas people that leave a bad review, they're going to go directly to Google. People are way more likely to just leave a review at all without being prompted if they had a negative experience than they had a positive experience. So framing it in the way of like, hey, we can do the review filter page if you want to. That one bad review isn't going to be the end of the world. It's going to give you great feedback, and it's going to add legitimacy to all your other reviews. And then also saying, hey, honestly, we just don't get a lot of negative reviews. Between those 3 things, you should be able to kind of overcome that. All right, the 10th objection here is, I want reviews on other platforms, Yelp, Facebook, etc. So you can definitely accommodate this. Now with GoHighLevel's new integrations into other review platforms and stuff like that, you can send the review link out, and instead of it going to Google, you can do Yelp or Facebook. For 99% of our clients, the Google Reviews platform is kind of where they get the biggest bang for their buck on their Google business profile, because not only is that review going to help them add some legitimacy and make their business profile more persuasive, make them look like the no-brainer option in the area, it's also going to help them rank higher on Google. So they're getting more awareness, and they're doing a better job of converting that awareness. So normally Google is kind of the no-brainer option for that. Also, when people ask me about Yelp, I just tell them, hey, it's actually against Yelp's terms and conditions to send somebody directly to leave a Yelp review. And even if they do leave a Yelp review, it's going to pop up under the not recommended reviews on Yelp. So Yelp really only wants people leaving reviews on Yelp that actually use Yelp all the time. So if you look at the Yelp reviews and the ones that actually show up, those are like Yelp users that go on Yelp all the time and book stuff and click on stuff. Whereas if you're just a net new user, you never use Yelp, you don't have an account, and you create a new account to leave somebody a Yelp review, it's not going to show up. It's going to pop up under not recommended reviews, and nobody's going to see it. And in terms of Facebook reviews, like if somebody runs a lot of Facebook ads or they get a lot of traffic on their Facebook page, this could make sense. I mean, you can obviously accommodate this if you like, but for the most part, we like sending everybody directly to Google, because that's where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. You're going to rank higher on Google, more people are going to find you, and yeah. The 11th one is, I don't want to share my customer list. So this is really just a trust thing, and it's really hard to overcome. I mean, in the past, especially when I was just getting started, I didn't have all this social proof out there that, hey, Review Harvest is a legit company. We don't do anything nefarious or anything wrong, stuff like that. I used to grab my credit card and put it on the screen and say, hey, here's my credit card info. Take a screenshot of this. If I do anything wrong with your customer list, run it for all it's worth. I don't think I ever had anybody screenshot or anything like that, but it's just trying to show them hey, it would not be in our best interest to do anything wrong. We just want to get you reviews. This information is not going to be sold or shared, or we're never going to reach out to these people except for on your behalf to request reviews. And so you can show them your privacy policy on this. I would say 10% of business owners are really weird about their customer list, and the other 90% don't care at all. And so it's just one of those things. You just want to make sure they trust you. It's more of a trust thing. And so figuring out, say, hey, I don't want to do anything wrong here. What can I do to help you trust me more? So yeah, the customer list thing is mainly just a trust thing. Most people aren't going to care, but that will come up every now and again. All right, number 12 here is that I don't want to give you access to my CRM, my Google Business Profile, etc. So the great thing, if you're getting somebody onboarded directly into GoHighLevel, they don't even have to add you to their Google Business Profile. They're just connecting Lead Connector, this third-party tool, to their Google Business Profile by clicking on that connect button. So you can explain that to them, saying, hey, actually, I don't have access to do anything. I just have access to see the reviews that come through the dashboard and respond to them and stuff like that. You're not actually adding me to your Google Business Profile. And in terms of giving access to their CRM, there's a couple of different things you can go through with this. So you can get them to log in to your Zapier account or your Make account, and you can get them to connect their app into there. Instead of them giving us their login to their CRM, we're giving them our login to Zapier just to connect it. And once again, explain that, hey, you're just connecting your CRM to a third-party tool. I can't go into your CRM through this tool. I can just get the information that we're going to send our way when a customer's job is completed or when we have a new customer or stuff like that. And so explain to them, hey, we're not getting access to anything. You're just connecting it to our systems so that we can request reviews and respond to it and stuff like that. And then if you are actually needing to get access to their CRM because it's maybe a more complex integration and you need to play around with it, not on a Zoom call, or because you're not able to create the CRM integration and you want to download their list for them every week or every 2 weeks and stuff like that, then once again, you just kind of have to go back to the trust thing of saying, hey, it's not in my best interest to do anything wrong here. I'm only going to use this data to request reviews on your behalf. And if anything happens, here's my credit card, run it for all it's worth. And that's one of those things that as you get more trust, as your business gets bigger and stuff like that in the marketplace, you won't have to worry about it as much, but there's still going to be those, business owners out there who are kind of crazy about that stuff. And so you just want to make sure you're explaining, hey, you're not giving me access to anything if they're clicking on the connect buttons, but if they are adding you, it's just a trust thing. All right, 13th thing here is, what is your privacy policy? So, honestly, if you're getting started, you probably just went to ChatGPT and created a privacy policy, but you want to tell ChatGPT hey, we're not selling this information. We're not using it to reach out to them on our behalf. We're just reaching out on your behalf to request reviews, all this stuff. So you can just direct them to your privacy policy. Once again, not legal advice. I don't know much about this stuff, but it is something that I get asked, hey, give me your privacy policy rundown, get what's happening with this data, all that stuff. So just have some sort of answer prepared to make them feel better, saying, hey, we're not doing anything with your data. We just request reviews. All right, the 14th obstacle or objection here is, I don't want a new phone number or multiple different phone numbers. So this one's so funny. I never hear this one anymore, but literally the reason I didn't do review requests for so long was because I was I'm gonna have to get a new phone number for everybody, or I'm gonna have to port their number over. No one's gonna wanna do that, right? That's crazy talk. But literally what happened was, on my first 10, 15, 20 onboarding calls, I was bringing it up, and it was a big deal to some of them. But then what I started doing is less said's best said. My job is to get them reviews. I don't need to tell them every single detail of their process. So just kind of stop bringing up the fact that we're going to get a new phone number for them. I would just kind of say, hey, we're going to text and email your customers to request reviews. And most business owners don't even think about it, right? And so you can tell them, you can also frame this and say, hey, I know the last thing that you want is another inbox or another phone number to manage and respond to and check and make sure that nothing's slipping through the cracks and leads aren't responding or people are asking for service. And so we'll set up an auto reply on this. So if anybody responds, say, hey, we don't have access to your reply here, text us at this number or call us at this number or go to our website here. That way we're always kind of closing that loop so nobody's getting lost in the cracks. But honestly, if you just don't mention the fact that, hey, we're purchasing a new phone number and it's going to be from a new phone number, then 95% of the time, business owners are not going to bring this up. All right, the 15th and last objection here is, you can't integrate seamlessly into my CRM. So I don't want to have to upload every contact manually. So if you're not able to create a good CRM integration to get the customer's contact information into your system to request reviews and stuff like that, then here's kind of the 3-step process that I go through. Number one, and the best thing, would say, hey, you add me to your CRM, and my virtual assistant or myself will go and export your list every week and will request reviews from all your new customers. The second best thing is if they're tech savvy, showing them how to download a customer list in their own CRM and upload it into our, into GoHighLevel to request reviews that way. If they're tech savvy, that way they can do it, etc. The third thing is that if they're not very tech savvy, they can still export a customer list. Maybe they don't want to add you to their CRM. Just say, hey, email me this list every week, every 2 weeks. We'll put you on an automated reminder to remind you to send us your new customers, and we'll get you some new reviews that way. The fourth thing is that, let's say they're a lower volume clients, like they're a lower volume person, they don't get a bunch of new customers. And let's say they don't know how to use a computer at all, or maybe they don't even use a CRM. What you can do is you can set up an automation to text them every 3 or 4 days to fill out a form. And this form can just be, hey, give me your new customers that you want to request a review. And it's like name, email, phone number, whatever. They click send review request after they put their information in, and it's sending a review request. They can refresh the page and add 2 or 3 customers every couple of days. And so that way you're constantly reminding them with that automated text and email to add new customers. So let's talk about following up. Let's say you have a good sales call or a good appointment, but you do not get the card on file, or you do not get the onboarding call booked, or something like that. In the future, you'll want to set up some sort of automated long-term nurture program where you can add them and they're constantly getting valuable emails or texts and stuff like that. But that is not a priority right now by any means. So what I'd recommend is just sending some sort of simple follow-up text and email. I just gave you an example email here, just that's benefits based, and just go ahead and send this to them and then snooze it. So in Gmail, you can snooze something for a week. You can do the same thing in Microsoft, I'm pretty sure, or Outlook, and just snooze it for like 3 days, a week, whatever. And just honestly keep following up. I can't tell you when I was getting started how many people I had on this flow where every day I would just, when you snooze something for 3 days, it's going to pop back up in your inbox. And so then every day I was making sure I was doing my follow-ups and not forgetting. And so, one follow-up message you can say is, hey, I know you were interested. Where should we go from here? So if you include something like that, like, hey, where should we go from here? It makes you not seem like desperate for them, but it also just says, hey, I know you're interested. What's going on here? So I would just say this is like the 80-20. This is like the 20% of actions that are give you 80% of the outcomes, because you can just do this. There's no time to set up. It takes you like 2 seconds every day to follow up with these people. So just send over some sort of text and email, snooze it, and follow up, just to keep them in the loop and try to get them to the next step, whether it's book an onboarding call or get a card on file or whatever your process is. So I'd recommend doing that. All right, so you might be sitting there right now and you're like, holy crap, there's 15, 20 different sections here. And the good news is that literally all these sections are like 1 or 2 minute videos. So they're super short, super brief videos. I've just broken them down into super bite-sized bits and chunks so that it's very searchable. You can find it, you can reference back. It's not hidden within like a 20-minute video, right? So I think it's going to help us support in the community, making sure everybody can find stuff and easily link to the proper trainings. I got this award from GoHighLevel because I have over 100 active clients just helping them get Google reviews and using GoHighLevel to do it. Now I'm almost 200 reviews, and today I want to share a sales call where I close one of these clients. And this video is less than 20 minutes, and honestly, if you just can't sit still and watch this 20-minute video and learn from it, even though it's not super engaging because it's just a sales call, you're cooked and you might be a lost cause anyways. So turn your notifications off for about 15 minutes, take some notes so you can start closing clients on your own.
Cool. How you doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Good.
How's this Wednesday treating you so far?
It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Cool. Well, yeah, I appreciate connecting us. Love to learn more about rentals and what y'all doing for Google right now.
Airbnb, VRBO, FlipKey, TripAdvisor, Bookings.com. We advertise on all those. We usually, we're high volume, by the way. We're extremely high volume. We've done about 27,000 reservations in our properties already this year. So we didn't even want to start a Google review page, to be honest with you, because, the only time in short-term rentals, I hate to say it, the only time somebody leaves a bad review is when they have a miserable experience or they want money back. They're angling to get their cleaning fee back or something of that nature, right? Like for it's straight up blackmail extortion. And there's laws against that in the US. So anyway, so it got started, and then we're like, crap, there's all 1-star reviews out there. And we just ignored it for like a year. And then recently it was like, hey, there's companies out there that can help you get those reviews up. And so I have a team of admins, about 10 of them. And when they get a text message that says, hey, I hope we had a great stay, we're leaving now. That's when we hit them with the SMS link that says, hey, leave a 5-star review. Here's the link. And that's actually gone from like our review, I don't know, 3 weeks ago was like at a 2.4 or 2.5.
Now you're at 3. And 3.6. Yeah.
And that's pretty good for over a couple weeks or so. But
for sure.
Rick gave the introduction, so he's a good guy. So I figured, we'll talk to you guys and see what you guys are all about, because he made the recommendation.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, that's good to know. And so right now it's just, in terms of the actual reviews on Google, it's a manual process where we're only requesting once people already express positive feedback, correct?
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
There's no automation other than our admin sending it. I mean, we'll send an automated email, but it'll say, hey, please leave a review. It won't even say what website. It'll just say, hey, reviews are important to us, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so
when they click on that,
they'll usually leave it on Airbnb or VRBO. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. That's what I was wondering, because it's taking them to like a split page, they can leave a review or wherever. Gotcha. And obviously, what percent are y'all direct versus Airbnb and VRBO and stuff like that?
So we do a combination of probably, I would say, about 50 to 60% Airbnb, about another 20 to 30 on VRBO, maybe about 20, and then the rest is direct. So about 30% is direct.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. No, I mean, we can definitely. So yeah, we got started with him a while ago, because I'm from the Panhandle. So 38 area. Are you familiar with 38 area at all?
Yep.
Yeah. So I started working with a couple of local vacation rental companies here, and then from there I had good results, and then started working. He's just kind of sent me to Brooke and a bunch of other people as well. But so yeah, we could definitely help you out, get your rating up, and get you more reviews. Really, once you get to a spot, if you're like, Google's not huge for you, whatever, you just don't want to have awful reviews on there. Once you get to a spot where you have enough reviews, you'll have like enough of a buffer where you can take so many 1-star reviews, and it doesn't even
move the and that's where we want to be, right? Because it's like, and to be honest with you, I don't want to ever be held hostage to a review, right? Because that's effectively what some of our guests do. Is they're like, we left you a review, we're gonna take it down if you give our money back. And so I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. I think when we started 400 reviews, like a 4.1 rating.
Okay.
And now they've got 1,600 reviews and like a 4.7. And so, I mean, they can take 1-star reviews all day long, and like they don't have to be held hostage to anything like that, because it doesn't affect,
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, basically, how our process works is pretty simple. We do 3 things. We request reviews, we respond to reviews, and then we can help you repurpose those reviews. For vacation rental companies, normally it's just the requesting and responding to the reviews. That's the most important part. But how we do it, I'll share my screen really quickly. The first play in our playbook is to do what we call a review reactivation. So what this review reactivation is that we can reach out to, let's say, your last 3,000 active guests, and we can request a review. And so what we'll do, since negative reviews are a concern, we can set up a review filter page where, instead of taking them directly to Google to say, they click on the link in the text or email, taking them directly to Google to blab whatever they want to say, we can take them to a filter page where it says, hey, how was your experience? Has your logo and stuff, and it'll have green smiley face, yellow straight face, and red frowny face, right? So if they click on the green smiley face, it'll take them to Google. Yellow straight face or red frowny face can take them to an internal page to leave feedback. That's easy there. Well, it's all that.
So you're effectively filtering the bad reviews right off the get-go. And then, if they're going to green or whatever, then they're going to leave a 5-star review or a 4-star review or whatever, right? So cool.
Yes, exactly. And when we send out this review request, what we do to kind of differentiate ourselves is we send it out with a personalized image. And so for vacation rental companies, a lot of times, there's not a lot of face-to-face interaction with you or any of your staff. But what we can do is we can just do a photo of the area, a photo of Myrtle Beach or whatever. Pretty photo.
What about our maintenance guys?
Auto-populate.
We got some of the maintenance guys.
Yeah. I mean, especially if, anytime you have facial recognition, that does seem to help with the conversion rate. But if Ryder stayed with y'all, we can send a photo out with Ryder's name on it via text or email to kind of get their attention once they get that image via the text or the email. And then once we have their attention, we just hit them with a no-brainer offer of we donate a meal to Feeding America for every single review we get. And so that's something that we take care of at Review Harvest. We've donated over 20,000 meals in the last year. And so we pay for it, we track it, we manage it. It's just an offer we extend to you so that you can get more reviews. So that's the actual request portion. And then once you actually get the 5-star reviews, we'll respond to all those 5-star reviews for you on Google in a personalized manner, using their name, using context from their review. So that takes another thing off y'all's plate. So y'all have to do that.
Okay. It's great. There you go.
For sure. And so how it works is we have a 14-day free trial. 14-day free trial where we get you set up and we'll start getting your reviews. The only expense that you'll have on that free trial is that we're going to rebill you for the text and email expenses. So these are fees that we receive from Twilio and Mailgun. Since you have a big list, when we do this initial review reactivation, where we reach out to 3,000 people, you can expect to be anywhere from 150 to, I've seen 400, 500 reviews just in the first couple months. We're going to drip that out over a couple months because we don't want to, blow up Google. But so just for that review reactivation, you're probably looking at anywhere from $100 to $200 in text and email expenses. Sure. And and then after the 14-day free trial at your volume, it'd be $279 a month. And for any reason, after 30 days, if you're not happy, we'll just give you the money back. We just want you to have a good week experience and get a bunch of reviews.
Right. We're like, hey, we got like 5,000 reviews or whatever, right? So, okay, cool. Awesome. All right. Yeah.
With y'all's volume, I mean, y'all can get a bunch of reviews. I mean,
sure.
And I mean, probably 4 months ago, and they went from 400 to 1,600 plus. And so actually, no, it was probably more like May or so. So maybe 5 or 6 months. But yeah, y'all have plenty of volume, so y'all can get a bunch of reviews. Okay. And we're easy to work with, easy to get rid of. If you're not happy for any reason, there's no contracts. All right.
Yeah, let's move forward then. Let's do it.
Sweet. All right. And so next step is just get you onboarded. It'll be with me. If you've got like 20 or 30 minutes, we can do that now. Or if you want to schedule it for another time, it can be.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you're good. You're
I'm a freaking busy man. So.
No worries. That call, it's going to be scheduled in for 45 minutes. It'll probably only take us 30 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But we'll just give us a little bit of buffer. What's going to be a good time for you to do that this week or beginning of next week?
Here, I'm just looking at my schedule for next week. Probably I can do noon on Wednesday. Will that work?
On Wednesday. You are in Eastern time. Yeah.
Yep.
No, we can do that.
Yeah.
Let's see. That will work for me. So I'm going to do it. And then to go ahead and book this onboarding call, we just need to go ahead and get a card on files. All right. Sounds good. Well, I'll go ahead and put you down for noon your time next Wednesday, and we'll go ahead and get you rocking and rolling.
Cool.
Awesome. Thanks for the time. Let me know if you have any questions in the meantime.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.
If you like this video and you want to start learning how to make money with GoHighLevel, click on this next video here where I show you how I make $22,000 per month just helping local business owners get Google reviews. My average lifetime value of a client is a little bit over $2,000. Today I'm going to show you how I turned a potential no-show, somebody that was not showing up to the sales call, into closing them in 15 minutes. And then if you stick around to the end, I'll show you how you can get access to the 30-minute onboarding call where you can see click by click how I get access to the things I need and set them up so that we can start getting them Google reviews. They'll stay forever and pay us $100 to $300 a month for years to come. Like I've said before, sales is not my strong suit by any means, but I tried not to edit this video too much so you can see the pauses, see the tonality, and hopefully learn something from it. Enjoy. This is Layla. Hey, are you having issues getting on the Zoom meeting? This is Clay with Review Harvest. Okay, all good. You said you're on a, did you say you're on a boat? Oh. Huh, that's awesome. Yeah, for sure. Is it Leela or is it Leola? Okay. So do you want me to email it to you again, the Zoom link? Awesome. I got you joining here. All right. I'm going to hang up the phone now and I'll see you on the Zoom. Hey, Doc, how are you doing? Let me just, I think you're muted.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Perfect. Yes, I hear you
Persistence
great.
is important, huh?
What'd you say?
I say persistence is key.
That's right. That's right. Don't quit. Don't quit. Never give
Yeah.
up. We made it.
Okay,
Well,
great.
how's your day going so far?
It's going really good. Just trying to knock out this TTDT list, things to do today.
Things to do today. I got you.
We call it
Awesome. Cool,
TTDT.
cool.
TTDT.
T, got it. Things to do today. Got it.
Yeah.
Well, how's it going so far? Are you knocking it out? You making progress?
According to me, not according to my husband.
I hear you. I hear you. Good stuff. Well, thanks for taking the time and hopping on. I think, how did you hear about Review Harvest in the first place? Was it from somebody posting in a Facebook group, or did you see it on an ad, or?
Probably Facebook, somewhere on Facebook or Instagram.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Gotcha. And this is y'all here in with 123 reviews.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Cool. So yeah, tell me about what y'all do.
So I'm a trichologist. Are you familiar with the tricho? I'm a hair loss specialist. So we do
Okay.
non-surgical hair restoration. We have a hair restoration and wellness center. So
Okay.
we basically just try to get people their hair back without surgery and drugs. So we're holistic.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and we also we have a wellness component, so we help with weight loss and stuff like that.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. Good stuff. Well, what are y'all doing to get Google reviews right now?
Man, we been in 123 like forever and a day. Just my front desk girl, when it hits her, she asks for them. It's nothing consistent. And then, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, I paid these people called Blue something about 4 or 5
Was
months
it
ago. I just don't think it ever happened.
Bird Eye or Podium or Bird Eye?
But
Well, are they still charging you, or do they
well,
still
it
charging
was
you, or are
it
you
was
able
an
to
add-on
cancel it?
to another program. I just even forgot what it was. I'm gonna pull it up, but I paid them the initial part. It was some kind of add-on to this existing marketing I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I just didn't see where they ever did
Mm-hmm.
anything with it.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, no, I saw y'all only have a couple of reviews in the last couple of months,
Yeah,
so
it's
yeah, definitely could
crazy.
be
That's
improved. But
mm-hmm.
so right now your front desk lady is just asking when she remembers. It's just nothing super consistent.
It's nothing consistent. I brought these little play cards. You scan it. We use that. It's just nothing
Hmm.
consistent. I've even thought I incentivized my employees, but I just recently hired a manager, so hopefully she'll be able to stay on top of it. But it's
Hmm.
just nothing
Hmm.
consistent.
Gotcha.
Excuse me.
Okay. And what do y'all use? Like, what do y'all use for your booking system or for your scheduling or
Square,
something?
square.
Square. Okay, cool. Awesome. Good. And do y'all collect like every time somebody books and every time somebody, works with y'all, do y'all collect name, email, and phone number?
Yeah, because in order for them to book with us, we have to have that information.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. And how many previous customers do you think you have saved in Square? How many people do you think you
Combined,
worked with?
I have to turn this off. 1 second. It's gonna keep ringing. Uh, combined in my Square database, probably a couple of thousand people, but some of them are so old. So currently, maybe a couple of hundred.
Okay, gotcha. Like a couple thousand all time, but probably a couple hundred more active.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how many new customers do y'all get per month, do you think?
I need more. I'm just about to. In fact, after I get off the call with you, I'm ramping it up. So we may get about 10 new patients a month. 10 new, no,
Okay.
about 12, maybe 12 to 15 new clients a month.
Okay. Gotcha. I hear you. Um, yeah, well, I mean, with the amount of previous customers that you have and with the obviously y'all provide a great service already. You can see that from the reviews. If you just scan the reviews for a second, people can obviously see y'all do a great job.
And so I think y'all are right there. It's just a matter of consistently asking and having a consistent process and system set up to actually request those reviews and get them, right? Does that sound about right?
Yeah. Sometimes if they're less than favorable, like 3 stars, we'll just try to negotiate the problem. We probably in the last 2 years we probably had about 4 or 5 3 stars that we were able to negotiate with. But that's still, I guess, percentage wise, pretty good.
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely. Well, yeah, no, I mean, we could definitely help you out. So we're Review Harvest. All we do is help local business owners get more Google reviews. And we just have a process of requesting the reviews. I'm gonna show you kind of how we do that. So
Are you
we
kind of
do
like
three
bird?
things.
You like bird's eye?
We're like Bird Eye, in the Google review sense. Bird Eye has really like branched out and they're like, oh, we do everything and anything for anybody, you know, and we've just stayed really focused on, hey, we just get local businesses Google reviews.
Okay.
So we're very, very focused on Google reviews. And so we do three things. We request reviews for you, we respond to reviews for you, and we repurpose reviews. And so kind of the first step in our process is we send out what we call review reactivation. So we're going to go into Square. We're going to grab those recent customers, maybe 300, 400, 500 previous customers, and we're going to send out a text and email to them requesting a review. And normally we can get anywhere from 5 to 15% of that list to go ahead and leave you a review to get you a big jolt in reviews just in the beginning. So you might be sitting on 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 more reviews just in the first month of working with us, right? And so when we request reviews, what we do is we request these reviews with a personalized image. So what that looks like is this. Let's say that y'all worked with Carly or John or Sally or Mary Margaret. You can see that we can auto-populate their name on a photo of you or your team to kind of get their attention, right? So we can send an image to them via text and email that has their name on it. So if you worked with Sally, you know, Sally's going to get a text with Sally's name on it. And so that what that does is that gets her attention, and no other review companies do that, right? And so it gets their attention, and once we have their attention, we hit them with a no-brainer offer of we donate a meal to Feeding America for every single review that our clients get. And so that's something that we pay for, we track, we manage at Review Harvest. Anytime you're getting a review, we're donating a meal to Feeding America, and we just extend that offer to you so that you can get more reviews, right? And so that's the request portion. What we'll do is we'll get integrated with Square. We'll get integrated with Square. So anytime you're adding a new client, we're requesting that review automatically for you. So you don't have to worry about anything manually happen. Like you don't have to worry about it not happening. You don't have to worry about people being reminded to add somebody or whatever. We'll just integrate with it automatically. So it's just happening automatically in the background. And so once you get that review, we'll respond to it in a personalized manner using their name and using context from the review. So you or somebody on your team doesn't have to worry about responding to all those reviews that we get y'all. And then also we'll turn all those 5-star reviews into social media content and post it onto your Facebook, Instagram, Google business profile with your photos, your logo, every time you get a Google review, a 5-star review.
So you post it in several places? Because right now, if some people leave us a Square review, it just goes in Square. It's like a cave. Nobody sees it. So yours are different in the fact that, how would it be different?
Yeah, so ours is different in the fact that we only direct your customers to leave a review on Google. The reason being is because Google gives you the most bang for your buck when you're getting a review, right? Because now not only are you getting more reviews, but you're going to start ranking higher on Google because of all those reviews. And then when people are considering who to work with or who to visit for their hair loss treatment, they're going to be able to see all of your positive reviews and know that you're the company to work with, right? And so we only request reviews on Google and then to Google. And then once you get those Google reviews, we basically repurpose them and turn them into social media content to then post social media posts on your Facebook, Instagram, Google business profile, etc.
You
So
do
that
the
all those
posting?
people that follow you can see. Yeah, we
You
do
do the
posting
posting?
for reviews. Yeah, exactly. We
So it won't
create
be my
them, we
staff
create the
have to do
posts.
it. It's not my staff that'll have to do it.
No, we
Okay.
do it for you. We do everything for you. We turn those 5-star reviews into social media posts and post them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So how's all that sounding to you so far? Does that sound?
Yeah. So what if it's a 3-star review or a 2-star?
Yeah, so what we can do is we can set up a review filter page to where when somebody clicks the link to leave a review, it takes them to a page which says, how was your experience with the hair restoration clinic? And it's going to say green smiley face, yellow straight face, or red frowny face, right? If they click on green smiley face, it takes them directly to Google because they want to leave a good review. If they click on yellow straight face or red frowny face, it takes them to an internal page to leave internal feedback that's just emailed to you and not posted anywhere.
Oh, great. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And so how it works is we have a 14-day free trial where we can set you up on the review reactivation, where we start getting you some reviews before you have to worry about paying us, right? And then after that, for your business, it'll be $99 per month. And if you're not happy for any reason after the first 30 days, we'll just give you your money back.
How many social media posts you give? It depends on how many reviews we're getting.
Yeah, so we can post it every single time, like every day that you get a review, we can post it automatically, or we can just post one a week or whatever, however many you want us to post. But it's going to be based off of how many reviews you're getting, right? So as long as you're getting reviews, we can be making posts.
That's pretty neat though, because we do like that, that social component where you're saying that you give a free meal to someone. That's really good because we want to tie more of what we're doing into building water wells and impoverished areas, So I like that.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what's your special right now? A 14-day free trial? Do you have an affiliate
So you get a
program?
14-day free trial? Yeah, so anybody you send my way, you can either get a free month for, or I can give you 30% of the recurring commission. Do you know a lot of other business owners?
Yeah, I have a little school I'm putting together, but I know other people who rely on me for marketing. But if it works for me, I may have at least 100 people. I probably would offer 30% because I like residual.
Yeah, for sure. No, we'd be more than happy to give it to you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's move forward.
All right. So the first step is just to go ahead and book an onboarding call. And the only thing required to do that is just to go ahead and get a card on file. So do you want to put this on a credit or debit card?
It'll be a credit.
All right. Perfect. And I know we've got a little bit of a holiday week here. Happy Thanksgiving. So do you have any time where we can get onboarded today or tomorrow? I mean, tomorrow or Wednesday, or do you want to get onboarded next week or Wednesday?
How long does the onboarding take?
It'll take about 30 minutes normally.
Never put off to tomorrow what you could do today. I'll do it.
That's right. Okay, so I've got today. Would you be able to do it today at say 4? You're in Central Time, correct?
Yep.
My next availability is 4:30 Central Time. Would that work?
Yes, I think so. Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Never put off tomorrow what you can do today. I love it. I love it. I wish I had more clients like you ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. Indecision is stifles productivity.
That's right. You got all the one-liners. I need you around as my hype person.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna put you down for today at 4:30, and we will get you set up and rocking and rolling. That's gonna be a Zoom call as well. You can just join on your computer. I'll walk you through just getting everything connected, and we'll be able to start getting you some reviews.
You may have to call me 5 minutes before. The boating life is different. You lose track of time.
Okay. Yeah,
All
gotcha.
Right. Thank you, man.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Have a good one. Talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to watch the 30-minute step-by-step onboarding call where I onboard this exact client and get access to all the things we need to get them set up and get them launched in less than an hour, click the onboarding call link down below in the description and we'll email it over your way. And before you go, this sales call recording was great, but by the time you have a qualified business owner on a Zoom call, that's the easy part from there. It's a pretty easy sale with the free trial. The difficult part is getting a business owner to hop on a Zoom call with you. So if you want to see how I got my first 10 clients, watch this video right here. I think it'll be helpful for you and you'll get a lot of value from it.